Elon Musk discovers a retired NASA engineer driving Uber. What happens next is mind-blowing. Elon Musk had always been a man of ambition, a dreamer who turned his visions into reality. His daily life was filled with high-stakes meetings, innovative breakthroughs, and relentless pursuit of the future. But even for a man like Musk, life had its moments of unpredictability. It began one ordinary evening in Los Angeles. Musk had just finished a long day at SpaceX headquarters, fine-tuning plans for the upcoming Mars mission. Feeling unusually tired, he decided to call an Uber instead of having his driver pick him up. It was a rare moment of solitude for the billionaire, an unplanned diversion from his rigid schedule. The car that pulled up wasn't particularly remarkable, a well-kept but slightly outdated Toyota Camry. Musk climbed into the back seat, his mind still swirling with thoughts of interplanetary travel. The driver, a silver-haired man with a neatly trimmed beard and sharp blue eyes, greeted him warmly. But before we dive into what happens next, I'd love to know, where are you tuning in from today? Drop a comment below and please like the video. Thank you. Good evening, where to? The driver asked, his voice calm and measured. Musk gave the address of his Bel Air residence and leaned back, fully expecting the ride to pass in silence. But something about the driver's demeanor caught his attention. The man seemed more composed, more precise than any other Uber driver Musk had encountered. There was a quiet confidence in the way he handled the car, a certain meticulousness in his actions. As they merged onto the highway, the driver glanced at Musk through the rearview mirror. "You're Elon Musk, aren't you?" he asked with a smile, his tone more curious than starstruck. Musk nodded. "That's me. And you are?" "Name's Robert Klein," the man replied. "I used to work at NASA." Musk's interest was immediately piqued. "NASA? What did you do there?" Robert chuckled softly, his eyes still focused on the road. "I was an aerospace engineer for 30 years. Worked on everything from the Apollo missions to the Space Shuttle program, retired about a decade ago." Musk leaned forward slightly. "And now you're driving Uber?" Robert shrugged. "Life doesn't always go as planned. Retirement wasn't as comfortable as I thought it would be. Had a few bad investments, some unexpected expenses. Driving helps me stay busy and it pays the bills." Musk was silent for a moment, processing what he had just heard. Here was a man who had contributed to some of humanity's greatest achievements, now reduced to driving strangers around to make ends meet. It didn't sit well with him. As the car exited the highway, Musk asked, "What do you think about what we're doing at SpaceX?" Robert smiled again, this time with a hint of nostalgia. "I think it's incredible. I've followed your work closely. You're doing what we always dreamed of, but never had the resources or the freedom to attempt. Commercial space exploration, colonizing Mars. It's the future. I just wish I could have been a part of it." The words hung in the air, heavy with unspoken possibilities. By the time they reached Musk's house, an idea had begun to form in his mind. "Robert," Musk said as he stepped out of the car, "give me your number. I think we might be able to work together." Robert raised an eyebrow, clearly skeptical, but he handed over a business card. Musk tucked it into his pocket with a nod of thanks. The following morning, Musk couldn't shake the conversation from his mind. He instructed his assistant to look into Robert's background. The results were astonishing. Robert Klein wasn't just any retired engineer. He had been a key figure in the design of the Space Shuttle's propulsion system, and had even worked on early concepts for reusable rockets, an idea that SpaceX had famously brought to life. Musk wasted no time. He called Robert and invited him to visit SpaceX headquarters. When Robert arrived, he was greeted with the kind of enthusiasm usually reserved for celebrities. Engineers, technicians, and even executives wanted to meet the man who had helped pave the way for modern space exploration. Over the next few weeks, Musk and Robert spent hours in deep discussion. Robert's decades of experience provided insights that even SpaceX's top engineers found invaluable. He had an uncanny ability to identify potential flaws in designs and suggest elegant solutions. It was as if he had been waiting his entire life for this opportunity. Musk eventually offered Robert a position as a senior advisor. At first, Robert hesitated. He was in his 70s and wasn't sure if he could keep up with the demands of such a high-pressure role. But Musk reassured him, "Your experience is more valuable than speed. We need your wisdom." Robert accepted, and the results were nothing short of extraordinary. Under his guidance, SpaceX refined its Starship design, overcoming challenges that had previously seemed insurmountable. Robert's contributions were instrumental in the success of the Mars mission, earning him a new level of recognition. But the story didn't end there. Musk, inspired by Robert's journey, launched a new initiative, the Retired Engineers Program. Its goal was to identify and recruit experienced professionals who had been overlooked or underutilized in their later years. The program became a game changer, bringing together a team of seasoned experts whose combined knowledge accelerated SpaceX's progress by leaps and bounds. Robert's story spread like wildfire, capturing the imagination of millions. He became a symbol of second chances and the idea that it's never too late to make a difference. Musk often referred to him as one of the best hires I've ever made. Years later, as Robert stood on the observation deck at SpaceX, watching the first group of colonists depart for Mars, he felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He had spent his life dreaming of the stars, and now, in his twilight years, he had helped make those dreams a reality. And to think, it had all started with an Uber ride. The weeks following Robert Klein's monumental return to engineering were a whirlwind of progress and acclaim. As SpaceX pushed forward with its Mars colonization efforts, Robert became an integral part of the team. His seasoned approach to problem-solving balanced the youthful energy and innovation of SpaceX's engineers. Elon Musk, always one to capitalize on a good story, shared Robert's journey publicly. The revelation that a retired NASA engineer driving for Uber had become instrumental in the Mars mission struck a chord with people around the world. News outlets called Robert the comeback engineer, and he quickly became a household name. Interviews, documentaries, and profiles followed, but Robert remained humble, deflecting the attention and credit toward the broader SpaceX team. Meanwhile, Robert's influence within SpaceX grew. He spearheaded a program focused on optimizing the Starship's life support systems, drawing on his extensive knowledge of long-duration space travel. He also worked closely with younger engineers, mentoring them and sharing lessons from NASA's golden age. One such mentee was a young propulsion specialist named Jamie, fresh out of MIT. At first, Jamie was skeptical of Robert's old-school methods, but as they collaborated on redesigning the rocket's fuel efficiency systems, she quickly realized the value of his expertise. Robert's meticulous nature saved SpaceX from a potentially catastrophic design flaw, and Jamie became one of his most vocal supporters. But while Robert's work at SpaceX was groundbreaking, it also reignited his personal dreams. One evening, after a particularly grueling day at the lab, he and Musk shared a quiet moment overlooking the launch pad. "You know, Elon," Robert began, "I always thought I'd retire on a beach somewhere, sipping margaritas and reminiscing about my glory days. But I can't help but think, maybe I've got one last adventure in me." Musk turned to him, intrigued. "What kind of adventure?" Robert hesitated, then smiled. "I want to go to Mars." Musk's eyebrows shot up. "You're serious?" "As serious as I've ever been," Robert replied. "I've spent my whole life designing systems to send other people to space. I think it's time I see it for myself." Musk didn't laugh or dismiss the idea. Instead, his eyes gleamed with the same spark of ambition that had propelled him to become the world's foremost space pioneer. "If that's what you want, Robert, I'll make it happen. But you know the risks. Mars isn't a retirement home, it's a frontier." Robert nodded. "I know, but I'm ready for it." Word of Robert's decision spread quickly through SpaceX. Many were initially concerned about his age and the physical demands of space travel, but Robert was determined. He underwent months of rigorous training, working alongside much younger astronauts. To everyone's amazement, he excelled, proving that experience and determination could rival youth and stamina. The day of the Mars mission's launch arrived with global anticipation. As the world watched, Robert, clad in his sleek SpaceX spacesuit, boarded the Starship alongside a team of scientists and engineers. The mission was historic not just because of its destination, but also because of the diverse crew representing a mix of ages, backgrounds, and expertise. As the rocket roared to life and lifted off, Robert felt a wave of emotions: excitement, pride, and an overwhelming sense of gratitude. For decades, he had dreamed of this moment, and now it was real. Robert's calm demeanor and problem-solving skills proved invaluable during a mid-flight systems malfunction. His quick thinking and ability to guide the team through the crisis earned him the respect of every crew member. When the Starship finally touched down on the Martian surface, Robert was among the first to step out. His boots sank into the red soil and he gazed at the vast alien landscape with tears in his eyes. "This," he said softly, "is what it's all about." Robert's presence on Mars was more than symbolic. He played an active role in establishing the first human settlement. His experience with designing life support systems proved critical in adapting the habitat modules to the harsh Martian environment. He also served as a mentor to the younger crew members, sharing his knowledge and encouraging them to push boundaries. Back on Earth, Robert's story continued to inspire millions. Schools named programs after him, and aspiring engineers saw him as a testament to the power of perseverance and lifelong learning. The Retired Engineers Program expanded beyond SpaceX, becoming a global initiative to tap into the wealth of knowledge held by retired professionals. Robert spent 3 years on Mars, contributing to humanity's first foothold on another planet. When he finally returned to Earth, he was hailed as a hero, not just for his technical contributions, but for embodying the spirit of exploration. In his later years, Robert authored a memoir titled *From Earth to Mars, A Life Among the Stars*, which became a bestseller. He continued to advise SpaceX and other space agencies, ensuring that the lessons of the past informed the dreams of the future. And for Elon Musk, Robert's story served as a constant reminder of why he had pursued space exploration in the first place. It wasn't just about technology or profits, it was about people, about giving humanity the chance to reach its full potential, no matter the obstacles. As Robert once said in an interview, "It's never too late to chase your dreams. Sometimes life gives you a second chance. When it does, you take it, and you don't look back."